On today's episode, we look into the history and the impact of the commentary community, and how YouTubers like Leafyishere and Pyrocynical push the genre forward. As well, watch as the gang tries to get shoutouts from commentators, which quickly goes south. All this and more starts now. Oh, that was really cheesy the way I said that.
These are the stories of three roommates, Snowy, Twig and Ruby. They share a house with their weird landlord Wallace. Watch as these three losers try to make a living off their adventures through this mysterious door. Ooh, spooky.
And this should be the last of it.
Remind me again why we bought all this commentator merch.
The more of it we wear in our videos, the bigger our chances will be that we get a shout out.
This is such a stupid idea.
Well, we already bought everything, so it's worth a shot.
Twig, put that shirt down. It promotes suicide.
Oh.
Look, Snowy, carry on with your video. I'm gonna come up with a plan that'll bring us more viewers.
If you say so. Commentary channels. When they were at their peak, oh my goodness, you could not escape them. In a way, it was the next Minecraft for YouTube. Everybody was hopping on board just so they could be the next Leafyishere or Pyrocynical. People even tried to just get those channels to notice them so they could get their 5 seconds of fame. Through all the garbage of mocking people, many people, okay, like a lot of people, I think it's left an overall positive impact on the platform. But to understand that, we gotta go back, so let's take it back. I'd say it all really started with the rise of Leafyishere. The 22-year-old was the foundation of the current way we see commentary. He was the one who popularized the whole reaction format of videos by taking a video or a person and quote-unquote roasting them.
Like, chill, dude, you're like 35 in a fucking car about to eat some KFC. But it's literally just a dude eating fucking KFC in his car. I mean, you're like fucking 35, dude.
It was thanks to an inside joke that his fans at the time spread like wildfire in every comment section, every forum, just literally everywhere, that got the man some attention. A literal sound brought a man millions of views. My brother, this noise alone made a man's career. Around this time, we saw the rise of Pyrocynical and No Fuckers. Pyrocynical especially, already known prior for MLG fame. He was the closest thing Leafy had to a legitimate rival of sorts. The Fuckers peaked around this time as well, having a lot of ties to Pyro and just a meme of his face plastered on every timeline that brought him to people's attention. Yeah, you remember this thing? Oh, what a greasy boy. As well, we saw people—
Cut.
Ruby, I'm in the middle of recording.
Shh. The script you're using had some errors, so I fixed it for you. Don't get your tits in a twist.
Oh, thanks. Sorry about that.
As you were.
As I was saying, like No Fuckers, we saw people like Sn0wy, LT Corbus, and Luna get some attention. However, that didn't last— oh, oof. However, that didn't last too long, as even though they're still making videos, most of them just stopped doing the whole commentary format of video in general, or they don't garner nearly as much attention as they used to, only exception being Sn0wy. But everybody's favorite internet villain, Keemstar, started to get a name for himself in the community. Getting involved with a lot of people around this time, he started causing lots of drama, in the early days especially, with Pyrocynical. He practically became a staple of the faces you associate with the community now. You could also count people like Grady Underay in this community, if we're talking about it more broadly, but just for the sake of runtime, I don't think he really added too much to the whole history, except for one part, which I'll bring up later. The first big shift in the community was when we saw the rise of Elvis the Alien, Bionic Pig, Zaptai, I'm Alex, and Wild Spartans. It was around later 2016, earlier 2017 at this time. These were to be the new faces of commentary down the line, but until this point, Leafy and Pyro were just seen as the two big guys. Although Leafy was more popular of the two, viewers often tilted more to Pyro for being an overall better person, doing basic things Leafy didn't, like, I don't know, crediting people for their work or paying them in general. You know, the basics. Till finally, we saw Fall of a Giant. Prior to this, Leafy had made an effort to get rid of Keemstar with the help of Grady Underay. See, I told you I was going to bring him back up. Where the two made a bunch of false accusations or just overall lies about the man. Sure, there was quite a few things alongside this that were actually fact, but overall they were just looked over due to the amount that wasn't, true. Of course, people already not liking Keemstar made everything worse for the guy. But somehow, through this and a content cop a month prior, the man still somehow survived and came out the other side as a better person. Karma caught up with Leafy, and it was time for him to go through the same test that Keemstar went through, except this time the results weren't the same. What got the ball rolling was when iDubbbz put out a content cop for Leafy, which left Leafy more vulnerable than he ever had been. Combine this with a video from a past editor, Hey Watch Your Mouth, multiple people calling out what he's done to control his reputation, and just his overall awful response to the content cop caused this once unstoppable giant to lose his throne as the commentary god and later just fall off the platform completely. This led to Pyrocynical now being the new face of commentary, who will later stop doing traditional commentary, but actually push the genre into a new format and has left the playing field pretty equal. And this new format that he brought in was more doing face cam instead of gameplay footage. That, I think, really had a positive impact and really cemented the community.
Commercial break!
Wait, what? Around this time span, podcasts had become quite popular, and I think it all really started with Keemstar, who created the Baited podcast, which featured Colossal's Crazy and Tommy C, and I still think to this day was probably the most unique idea for a podcast. Getting 3 people that just all have different points of view just to argue, and there was a lot of shouting and my ears hurt. We also saw podcasts like Hot Wet Soup with Alvis the Alien, Bionic Pig, and Zapdie, the Trending Topics podcast with I'm Alex, Wild Spartans, and Deodor Anthony, and finally the only one that still stands to this day, the Pubcast, with Squizzy, A Kindale War, and Lord Bung, who, like Grade A Under A, are kind of connected to the community, but as a whole aren't really there, I guess. But I just kind of want to shout them out because they were in one of my videos once and I really love them all. Hello, this is post-editing Sn0wy. I just came here to say Pubcast ended. Like, as I was making this. Also, Baited somehow uploaded again, so I mean, at this point, their podcast is just so inconsistent and changing hosts and all this stuff that I don't even know anymore. This is where Elvis, Pig, Alex, and Wild Spartans really start to see their channels grow. But Zapdie didn't have it so easy. As we saw the rise of Hot Wet Soup, Zapdie was exposed for some overall not too pleasant things. To sum it all up, you know that one scene in Persona 5 on Valentine's Day where you're not exactly loyal to one girl? Take that and add to the fact that some of the age gaps that he had between the people that he was dating weren't very, legal. Yeah, Zapdie was out of the picture and disappeared online for what looks like for good. As we get to the present day, the hype around the commentary community started to settle down, but unlike the Minecraft community, it didn't disappear. The commentary community has already cemented itself into the platform and its ties to multiple different genres, like reaction channels, more on the end of like H3H3, anti-SJW channels, meme channels, or even just discussion channels. I don't think the commentary community could ever die out, especially with the rise of newer creators like Quite and Benji. The commentary community has left such an astonishing impact on this website. While it did bring a lot of cancer in the form of the fan base and the amount of bleach jokes to the point where I just can't listen to track 7 off Saturation 3 ever again, it also helped get people thinking. It made us look at creators with a more critical eye, and maybe even helped us form our own opinions. Commentary helped us look at more taboo topics or unpopular opinions, and to really try and see both sides of a story. It even helped expose certain creators that were, kind of terrible people. On the surface, commentary might just look like unnecessary drama and clickbait up the ass, but if you're looking at it in that way, you're doing exactly what the genre wanted you to do. Think for yourself. Aww.
Hey, what's wrong?
Well, the essay's finished and we haven't been noticed by any creators. Maybe I should have just put on this shirt.
I wouldn't say that.
What do you mean?
Well, while you were doing your little essay, I took the door to Quite's place and stole one of his scripts.
You did what?
Please don't tell me you switched out my script for Quait's. Ruby, this has major repercussions!
Hey man, you said you wanted to get creator attention, and what better way than controversy?
I said a shout out, not a scandal!
The results can't be that bad.
On an unrelated note, some Pyrocynical looking ass and a green-skinned red-headed version of the goth chick from Teen Titans plagiarized one of my scripts recently. Turns out they're both part of this Sn0wy channel, and I looked at the actual Sn0wy guy who's running the whole operation, and essentially he's a Canadian version of Blues Dank in that he can literally go nowhere without his beanie. Like it's the middle of fucking summer. Take off your hat and your stupid bulky ass jacket. He, in addition to his lackeys, are a bunch of douche canoes, so I'm going to be making a video on them. I hate him. His face, whack. His crew, whack. His beanie, whack. His hairline? Whack! His Final Fantasy Sonic X video? Whack!
Sn0wy has been exposed for stealing client scripts, which is disgusting.
What an absolute scumbag! I say we take this cunt's channel down.
The fact that this is able to happen is ridiculous.
If we carry on giving him the spotlight, he will only continue to leech like the wretched cretin that he is. He's probably a furry too, and we all know what they do to animals.
How low do you have to be to steal someone else's work and claim it as your own?
Ruby, anything you have to say for yourself?
You're welcome.
Ruby!
Fine. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it could have been worse. We could have had our channel shut down.
I'm not saying to flag him. I'm not allowed to encourage that kind of behavior. If you do flag him, it ain't my fault. But I just thought I'd let you know that it is indeed a button that exists as an option to click on his videos. Just gonna leave you with that little piece of information. Do what you want with it.
Like and subscribe, more like report Sn0wy. #SnowDay.
I urge you to go and report him so this will never happen again.
Report Sn0wy!
This is America.
Oh yeah, if anybody has dirt on Sn0wy that they've been itching to use, now's the time.
Fuck Sn0wy. He's not even made of snow. This is like false advertising.
Sn0wy is a bitch and he killed my father.
Sn0wy is heterosexual!
You should unsubscribe from Sn0wy right now. He's great.
Hey Sn0wy, guess what? Take that.
Sn0wy is a big dumb willy and he stole my DVD of Spider-Man 2.
This man killed my family.
2 years ago, Sn0wy tried to seduce me inside a Subway restaurant. Do not trust this man no matter how good the sandwich he buys you is.
Sn0wy's such a smelly idiot. I break my Minecraft.
Sn0wy's a stinky, smelly man who does not deserve his fans.
But your name being Sn0wy, you're not cool at all, Sn0wy! You're not cool at all!
No.
I'll take care of damage control.
I'll get the equipment to set up for an apology video.
No.